Satan has one goal, and it hasn't changed since the beginning. Let me show you. Finally, grow powerful in union with the Lord, in union with his mighty strength. Use all the armor and weaponry that God provides so that you will be able to stand against the deceptive tactics of the adversary. For we are not struggling against human beings, but against the rulers, authorities, and cosmic powers governing this darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realm. So take up every piece of war equipment God provides so that when the evil day comes, you will be able to resist. And when the battle is won, you will still be standing. Now, to really get this concept, you have to start at the end. It says, when the evil day comes. So there is a day of testing, an evil day that will come, and it will enter into your life at some point in time. If you are a follower of Jesus, there is an evil day that will come. And the goal of that evil day is singular. It's to get you to lose your trust in God or to simply rebel against him completely. And so what does that mean? It means that the circumstances that come up in our life that Satan uses in order to get us to reject God or to abandon our trust in him, the circumstances that he uses are not the problem. The problem is the spiritual forces that are governing this darkness. And all of the circumstances that you are experiencing, those circumstances are deceptive tactics. Now, how do we know this? Because we see it in the book of Job. What was Satan's entire argument? God, the only reason that he serves you is because you have put a hedge of protection around him. You've made him wealthy. Let me go and take away the good things that you've given him, and he will spit in your face. He will curse you to your face. And so what happens? Satan is allowed to go and strike him. He strikes everything in his house, destroys everything. But it doesn't work. He refuses to curse God. He refuses to let go of his faith. And so what does Satan do? He ups the ante. He goes back to God. God's like, hey, what happened? And he's like, yeah, whatever. You didn't let me hit the man. Anybody will, let their things go. But, you strike the person, then he'll curse you to your face. And so God said, fine, you can have his body, but you cannot take his life. And so Satan goes and covers Job with boils and puts him into extraordinary pain. But Job still refuses to release his faith. When the evil day came, he was left standing. And so what we have to understand is that this is the way that Satan attacks us. He attacks through our circumstances. And there is a day, there is a day appointed in the life of every believer, and sometimes maybe more than one, because it says when the evil day comes, not if, when the evil day comes. We need all of this war equipment for one singular purpose. It is to protect our faith, to protect our trust in God, because if everything else is taken, but we're still left standing, we're still left holding on to that one thing, holding on to our faith. If we have lost everything but that, then the battle is won. The problem is that our tendency is to react to our material situations with material methods. And so when the adversary comes and starts attacking our material circumstances, we tend to get caught up in trying to fix everything, and we get caught up in striving, and we get lost in the fray of trying to solve whatever the problems are. Or you could put it another way and say that we begin struggling with flesh and blood instead of with the spiritual powers and principalities of the air that are stirring up the consternation in our world. And so what do? Do we go in the spirit and start warring with these demons and start casting things down and making grand proclamations and reading scriptures? No. We hold on to our faith. And here's the reason why. Because the thing that rebuffs anything in the spiritual, any spiritual attack, is the authority of Christ. And when we put our trust in Him, which means putting our trust in Him to the degree that we lay down at His feet as though dead, because we trust to that level that He will handle whatever the situation is. When we place our trust in Him at that level, He rises up on our behalf. And there is no power, there is no principality, there is nothing in this universe that can withstand His authority or His power, because all authority and all power was given to Him after His resurrection. And so where it says that we're struggling with these principalities and powers, the struggle is not to battle them or to overthrow them. That's not the struggle. These beings are far more powerful than we are in our physical state. It's foolishness to think that we're going to have any effect on them. The struggle is to fall into their deceptive tactics and to try and engage the problem in the wrong way. The way that we need to engage the problem is by standing in our trust, standing in our certainty of the Messiah's authority and power and willingness to rise up on our behalf. And so when the evil day comes and we hold on to our trust and we do not relent, but we remain standing firm in our certainty of the Messiah, then He rises up on our behalf. And when He rises up on our behalf, the enemy must relent. And this is why it says, if you resist the devil, he will flee from you.